Greetings, Toiletarians! I'm your host, Toilet Terry, and you guys are all watching Toilet Talk with Terry. That's me, obviously. The discussion topic for this episode is misconception. Let's face it, all of us in our lifetime have come across misconceptions and misunderstandings of some sort. For example, people speaking different languages, figurative language, and sign language. In sign language, fun fact, this gesture can mean either like two things, work or F you. If that's not crazy, I don't know what is. But I'm about to tell you something crazy. Having to do, of course, with misconceptions and misunderstandings, but this story leans more on misunderstanding. This, buddy of mine at work, you see, I told him my favorite joke ever. I've probably told y'all this joke in previous episodes. I might not have, I don't really know, but if so, if I have, here I go again. So, there was this man who, he owned a cat, he had a cat, and his mother-in-law was sick, and he was about to go on vacation, so he had to get a caretaker to feed his cat and look in on his sick mother-in-law. And so he found himself a caretaker, then he left for vacation. A few days into vacation, the man gets a call from the caretaker saying, "Your cat's dead." And the guy's like, "Oh, come on, you just ruined my vacation. You could have let me down easier. You could have called me 3 times instead of 1. The first time, you could have said, 'Your cat is stuck on the roof.' Second time, you could have said, 'She got pneumonia when she was on the roof.' Third call, 'Sorry, we just couldn't save her and she died while she was stuck on the roof. And we're pulling her down now.'" Y'all get the picture. So then a few more days go by, and the caretaker calls again. And when the guy asks, "Is everything okay?" he says, "No, your mother-in-law is stuck on the roof." I told my buddy at work that joke, word for word. What I just said to y'all. He laughed, but he truly didn't actually get it. You want to know what that led to? He would approach people saying, "Hey, want to hear a funny joke?" They'd be like, sure." And then he would say to them, "Your cat's dead and your grandma's stuck on the roof. Ha 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 ha." People are like, "What?" I don't get it. What? And then I would have to intervene and tell the real joke. And then they'd be like, "Oh, ha 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 ha. Very funny." You see, I, personally, when I was a little kid, I misunderstood a bunch of things. Ran into countless misconceptions. This one time when I was in the 1st grade, one of my fellow students told a joke to the class. Nobody laughed except for him, but actually, no, except for him and myself, because I just don't know. I don't know. I thought it was so funny that when I got home, I told my parents the joke. Here's the joke. Why don't you ever want to play cards with a tree? Because it likes tea. And then my parents were like, what? What? They didn't understand what I was talking about. And then sometime later, I don't know how old I was, but I was still a kid, the smoke detector in our house kept on making chirping noises like boop, boop. And I told my parents it was making chirping noises, and I explained to them, okay, if you hear your smoke detector chirping like that, that could mean 2 things. It could be, number 1, you were just going to burn all of a sudden that you didn't know about, or number 2, it means that the bathtub is on fire. They looked at me like I was crazy and then started laughing. And then my dad was like, bathtub is on fire. That doesn't make sense. And then my granddaddy was like, yeah, I think you misunderstood, dude. And I did. I got the first point right. All of a sudden you were going to burn that you didn't know about. But the second point I got wrong. Instead of the bathtub being on fire, it's, the smoke detector's batteries are running low. So go tell your parents that I need more batteries. How about that? Anywho, years ago when I was a little kid, a little boy, 3rd grade to be precise, my Nana, my mom's mother, remarried. I, as a little boy, at first kept on misunderstanding her new last name. I would read her business card, and what came out of my mouth went a little something like this. Della Hosey? Della House? Della Hoese? Della Jose? Hoese? Okay, I'm confused now. I don't know. She kept on having to remind me, dude, none of those are correct. It's pronounced Hess. Hess. Hoese. Hess. This other time later on, don't even ask me how or why this happened, because beforehand it showed as Della Hess. Like her name was Della Hess on her email address. Later it said Della Horse. I thought at first that she had done that on purpose, so I sent her an email saying, haha, Della Horse, ha 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 ha. And then her next email to me is, oh my goodness, I don't know how, thanks for catching that, buddy. Now I'm gonna change it back. So yes, needless to say, I've been through a lot of misunderstandings and misconceptions in my lifetime, just as I said at the beginning of the video, but I didn't go through them alone. I went through them with friends, my parents, my grandparents, you name it. So I guess the moral of this episode could be something along the lines of, you will face misunderstandings and misconceptions for your whole life, but you don't have to do it alone, and you won't be alone. And that's all I have to say about that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like on it if you liked it, and hit that sub button for more upcoming content. What's to come next will be amazing. You won't want to miss it. Alright, keep it real. Peace out.